to start the first class of the DSP, Digital Signal Processing, for the 5th semester. The subject code is 18AC52 and internal CIE is for 50 and SEE for the 50 marks. CIE has the 3 components: first test, second test, third test. Best of 2 will be considered, and 1 sleep test. These all 3 tests are for, I think this time they have made it 40 marks, I think 40, 40 and 40. This is for the 20. So this comes out to be 80, this comes out to be 20 totally. Then later it is divided by 2 to scale it to the 50 marks. One should clearly see the difference between the last year code and this year code. Last year code was 16EC52. This also has a module 1 to 5, and this time 18EC52 module 1, contents of the module 1, some part of this one is moved to the module 2 because it is not possible to complete the earlier module 1 in 10 or the 11 hours. So for that reason we have moved it to the module number 2, and module number 3 and 4 are interchanged. Here the 3 and 4, the 4 becomes 3 here and 3 becomes 4. This is 3, and the 5th one remains as it is. So the first model is a DFT. Next is its implementation using FFT. Then comes the FIR filter. Then comes the IIR filter. Then comes the filter structure. Filter structure. So some slight modifications are done in the module 1. Earlier the module 1 has DTFT part, which is you have already studied in signals and systems, and its properties and its derivation. Since this part is already studied in the 4th semester level, we are going to study only the properties, direct equations, not its derivations, because the same derivation is repeated in module 1 of the DFT. There is no meaning for that reason. So let us start with the SNDS itself. That is, you have studied the trigonometric Fourier series. Fourier series. In this case, a signal is represented as x of t. This is a continuous signal. This signal can be represented using a DC component plus a set of sine and cosine values. This is Bn, or sorry, Bk you can call, AK, Bk, sine k omega naught t. See the difference here, the summation is from 1 to infinity, this is 0 to infinity. So that zero part is covered in the A of 0, that is DC. The meaning of this one is, you take any signal, this I call it as a x of t. This can be decomposed in the DC plus a set of sine and cosine with different frequencies. That is called as a synthesis, you can say. Or in other words, you can say, if it is a purely sinusoidal is there, then a DC component will be there plus cosine component will be 0 because it is purely this one, plus sine component will be there, sine k omega naught t. So for k equal to 1, this is omega naught t plus sine 2 omega naught t plus it goes up to sine up to the infinity. Let me take it as something n m omega naught t. This is about the Fourier series, and Fourier series is for continuous signals. Continuous signals means if it is sinusoidal, I call it as a continuous signal which is going up to the infinity. The energy of this signal is infinity, but the power over one cycle, this is over one cycle, power is finite. Finite. Whereas Fourier transform, we take the Fourier transform for the, what you call, not a non-continuous signal. That is, I can call this as a non-continuous signal, or you can consider this as a, this ends here. There is no repetition. Signal is not repeated. So we go for the Fourier transform for the non-continuous signal like this, where it has a finite time interval. After that, its value will be 0. Such kind of signals have the finite energy. So for this reason, we also call it as a energy signals, and these signals, continuous signals, we call it as a power signals. Power signals and the energy signals. Similarly, you might have come across the Fourier series. That is another one. Exponential Fourier. This is another way to represent the signal. Like the same signal x of t can be represented in this form, minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k e to the power of j k omega naught t. Similarly, you have the exponential Fourier transform also. This is another way. There are several ways out there. One is trigonometric, another one exponential, some other things you will find it out. This is just to refresh you. So we go for the elementary signals. Its continuous form and discrete form. Let me consider a sinusoidal signal. This is continuous. This signal I am going to sample at regular intervals whose magnitude is 1. This is t, this is t, this is the magnitude, say A, AM maximum. Okay, the energy of this one is 1. Then I will multiply these two, this and this. When we multiply some value with the 1, it results into this value. The first value will be 0. When I take the second sample, let me call it as a TS interval, sampling interval. 2 TS, 3 TS, 4 TS, this continues. At TS interval, its magnitude is A1. At 2 TS, its magnitude is A2. At this point, it will be A3. So at TS, its magnitude is A1. Then at 2 TS, its magnitude is A2. At 3 TS, its magnitude is A3. Let me something like this. So now this becomes a discrete. This is not continuous, means not continuous. Okay. So for non-continuous signal, this time axis becomes n. N is the index number. So n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. These values A1, A2, A3 may be A1, A2, A3 may be in terms of the voltage, it may be 0.2, 0.4, it may be 0.35 and like this. They are not 0 or 1. Discrete signal has a discrete magnitude. Later we convert this into the digital. How to convert it to the digital, that part you are going to study in the digital communication. Okay, so right now for the processing of the signal, these values are enough for us. So this is how a continuous signal is converted to the discrete signal. Some of the elementary signals are unit sample signal. Sample signal. So in continuous domain, this is a T, its magnitude is 1. So not magnitude, it is the energy contained in this one. Energy is equal to 1, not the magnitude as 1. If I take the sample of this one, we'll get only one sample, other values will be 0. In the discrete case, this is a discrete column, you will get only one value at this point, and now this index becomes n and other values are 0. These all are 0. Then unit step. Unit step signal, this is a unit step signal. This is continuous, whose magnitude is suppose 1. Then if I take the samples of this one, this will be 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, up to this point. This may be T. This is also in terms of the T. This I call it as a n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Remaining values are 0, 0. Similarly, the ramp signal. This is the ramp signal. This is T. In the discrete domain, if I take the samples, the values are growing. Something like this. A1, A2, A3, A4. A1, first initially it is A0, A2, A3, A4 and index is n. Then exponential signal. So the exponential signal may be like this. exponentially rising, or it may be like this, exponentially rising, exponentially decaying. This is decaying, this is rising, this is your t. On the same line, I write the discrete version of this one as 0 something like this. It will take the path something like this. Okay, this portion is not there, only the samples are there. Okay, or it may be in other way. For the decaying one, this will be something like this. If you join, you will get it something like this, and its x of n is given by a to the power of n, and this exponentially decaying is, in this case, a is between 0 and 1, and here a is greater than 1. Then how to find the energy of a signal? Energy is nothing but square of the voltage. E is given by n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. This is for the discrete signal. So x of n, it may be positive or negative, we'll square it. Then this energy lies between some value between 0 and infinity, then it is a energy signal. This is for the non-continuous signal. Similarly, for the continuous signal, we find the power, and power P is given by limit n tends to infinity 1 divided by 2n summation n equal to minus n to plus n. So this passes through minus n, 0 and n, totally n plus a 0 component, that is 1, and x of n square. This is how to find the power. So then we'll talk about the symmetric and the anti-symmetric signal. Symmetric signal possesses x of minus n equal to x of n. So that is x of, if I take n equal to 0, this is x of 0, x of minus 1 equal to x of 1, x of 2 equal minus 2 equal to x of 2, and this continues. This is symmetric. That is, if I write this, this is 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Index is 0, 1, 2, 3. This index is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. See here, x of minus 1 equal to x of 1, x of minus 2 equal to x of plus 2. Its values are same. This is a symmetric signal. Whereas anti-symmetric, this is given by x of minus n equal to minus of x of n. That is, if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, index is 1, 2, 3. This will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Minus, this index is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. That is, x of minus 1 equal to minus of x of 1. This is for n equal to 0. Similarly here, this is n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2. And for n equal to 1, this is x of minus, sorry, n equal to 1 here, 2 here. x of minus 2 equal to minus x of 2. Let me check it out. X of minus 2 is minus 2 and x of 2 is 2. Its value is 2. This is equal to minus of. These two are opposite in sign. This is the antisymmetric signal. Some of the properties of DTFT. Discrete Fourier series. Discrete Fourier series. That is periodicity. That is x of k plus n small k is equal to x of k. The signal is periodic. If this satisfies this condition, then it is called as it satisfies the periodicity condition. That is, let me write this. 0, suppose say this you have the value 0, 1, 2, 3. So totally how many? 4 is there. Better let me consider this one. 4, 3, 2, 1 is the magnitude, and this repeats. This index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once again same thing, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is periodic. Here n equal to what? N equal to 4. After 4th, 0, 1, 2, 3, it repeats. 0, 1, 2, 3, it repeats. So this is a repeat. X of k repeats. Here. Then linearity property. This you have derived. If x of n makes a DFS pair, so that is x of k, always time domain we use the small x, frequency domain capital X, and y of n makes a pair with y of k, then if z of n equal to a into x of n plus b into y of n, then this makes a pair with a into x of k plus b into y of k. Here a and b are scalar values. Proof is not required, just you have to remember. Then time shift. If x of n is shifted by x of n minus n naught, then x of k will be e to the power of j k omega naught n naught x of k. So x of n makes a transformation pair with x of k. Then if x of n is shifted by this value, this is going to be multiplied by this e to the power of, this is a phase. If I consider this x of a some spectrum I will, k is a frequency domain spectrum. So this is actually the frequency axis. Then this is for the x of n. makes a pair with this one. Then x of n minus n naught is nothing but same thing, x of n multiplied by this one. If it has a phase, then there is a change in phase. Then frequency shift. If x of n makes pair with x of k, and if x of n is multiplied by e to the power of j k naught omega naught n, then in the frequency domain this will be x of k minus, what is it, shifted k naught, k minus k naught. If x of k is something like this, then this will be shifted. Minus means this is shifted to the right side by k naught amount. This spectrum will be shifted to this one. This is nothing but your modulation, amplitude modulation. In the amplitude modulation, you are going to multiply x of t with a, this is your signal xm, message signal. You are multiplying with the carrier signal, something like yc of t. This will shift the spectrum to the different band. Okay. So let me end the module 1 first lecture. So module 1 second lecture will continue later.